Hello and welcome to another week of art. I hope that you had a wonderful Thanksgiving and let's go ahead and start. I'm going to share my screen if I can get it to share. There it is. Okay. All right. Here we go. Okay, we are in the week of December 1st through the 8th. And this week I can create an original work of art using line, shape, and color. And I can create a drawing of a cat and a bird inspired by the artist Paul Klee. You might not have heard of him, and I'm going to show you some of his images as well. What will we do today? I'm going to review those rules and expectations, review how we used line, color, and shape, not pattern. Not this week. We're going to focus more on color and shape and line and view examples of the work of Paul Klee. There's going to be a reading of the story, The Cat and the Bird by Geraldine Elshner and Peggy Neal. A quick demonstration and then you're off to create your art and hopefully to turn in. Okay, let's see here. Let me get this a little bit bigger. You should know this by heart now. My art room rules: attitude is a choice, so have a positive attitude, respect everyone, and try your best. And don't forget that you are graded on your participation in essentials. That means that you need to complete your artwork and turn it in, as well as all your other essentials work. You must be good listeners and try your best and complete your art. For me, if you are an online learner, return your artwork to the Google Classroom, Class Dojo, or email it to me. And there's my email address. Let's see. Okay, if you are returning to school or you've already returned to school face-to-face, this is what you should expect from art class. First of all, I will be coming to your classroom for art, pushing in my little cart, and we will wear our masks, social distance, and keep our hands and area clean. And you will mainly use your own supplies for our lessons. Okay, quick review, and we talked about this quite a bit. We talked about elements of art, and elements of art are the ingredients that make up art. A line is a path that starts with a point, one point, and it continues. So we talked about different types of lines: zigzag, dash, curly whirly, or a roller coaster, a straight line, and that kind of thing. And for this particular artist, he uses a lot of continuous line, which means he doesn't always pick up his pencil or his paintbrush. He just continues. And you'll see what I'm talking about in a moment. Shape. What is shape? Shape is also one of the ingredients in art. And shape is the outline of an object and an element of art. And we talked about different types of shape: geometric shape or basic shapes like the triangle, rectangle, square, circle, oval, and diamond. And we also talked about organic shapes like a cloud, a leaf, a pumpkin, a flower. So in color, we've been talking a little bit about color. I know that later on we will get more into color mixing, but for now we are concentrating on line and shape and the use of color, which is also one of the elements of art. Okay, here are some examples of Paul Klee's art. And to the left, you will see what almost reminds me of, like, I don't know if you remember the building blocks, not Legos, but the shapes that you used to build castles out of. My boys had these. And that's what this particular painting reminds me of. It reminds me of castles that he's building using rectangles and squares and triangles and the arches. And he's got the circle in the sky, which probably represents the moon or the sun. But you can see that he's just got blocks and and I went ahead, blocks and blocks of different shapes and colors, lots of bright colors. And to the right here is a self-portrait, not a self-portrait, but a portrait of a person. And it kind of reminds me of the artist Picasso. Remember when we talked about Frankenstein? Well, in this one, you can see the eyes are not even, the eyebrows are like different shapes, the mouth is a little bit different, the nostrils, and it's kind of fragmented like a puzzle. But if you look closely, you'll notice that he uses a continuous line to make these shapes. And he's also using some basic shapes and it's very simplified, so it's not realistic. Okay. And here's his famous painting that we're going to see in the story that I'm going to have you listen to. And this is the cat and the bird painting. And he did this back in 1928. And you'll notice that the face is very large, the eyes are really big, but he uses very basic, almost you might even think about cave paintings when you see some of his drawings and his paintings, because you see the bird is on his forehead there. So he must be thinking hard about that bird. And we'll hear a little bit in the story about that. Okay, so you can hear my dog barking in the background. I'm sorry. Okay.
The Cat and the Bird, a children's book inspired by the artwork of Paul Klee. I had everything I needed to be happy in my house with the blue shutters. I had a cozy basket, warm milk, and toys, grass to nibble on, and a shiny tag on my collar with my name engraved on it. But my perfect house was a gilded cage. It was locked up tight. The key turned around twice. So from morning to evening, and from evening to morning, I sat by the window and dreamed. The garden outside was so wonderfully beautiful. When I closed my eyes tight, I could sense the scent of the chestnuts, the red leaves of autumn, the soft carpet of moss beneath my paws, the murmuring of the stream, and high up in the treetop, you. How beautifully you sang, how deliciously beautiful. For ages, I would listen to you and lick my lips. I have to admit, I wanted to catch you very much. One stroke of my claws, a snap of my teeth, and crack! I felt I could already taste you in my mouth, completely, forever. But something inside me was even stronger than the urge to devour you. Deep inside, I envied you. You were free, free to fly wherever you wanted, to come and go as you pleased. You were free, and I was captive. So I devoured you only with my eyes, and then I called out to you. Hello, bird, your beak is so sharp. You can bore holes into a tree trunks. Why don't you peck on those bars of my prison? You answered me with a song. A cat in a cage, what a funny sight. But would I be wise to help you? How could I be sure that you won't eat me up? I looked at you straight in the eyes and said, I give you my word, plain and simple, and I promise it is a promise. This was enough for you. Peck, peck. Without a moment's hesitation, you began to peck away the bars of my cage. And soon I was free, scampering after you on the roof of my house with the blue shutters, bounding from tower to the bridge, and from the bridge to the chimney. I sprang to the edge of the horizon, and there I danced for joy in the moonlight. Thank you, little bird. I will never forget you. Your image will always be engraved in my memory, completely, forever. This is the painting of Cat and Bird by Paul Klee. It was painted in 1928. It is oil and ink on canvas. You can see this work in person at the Museum of Modern Art in New York City.
Okay, that was a great story. Get this out of the way here. There we go. Okay, now I wanted to show you that story because a lot of the images in the illustrations, the paintings that are in the story, are reminiscent to the work of Paul Klee, which you can see like the castles, the buildings, they're all very colorful, geometric shapes. And the way the bird and the cat are drawn, they're very similar to the original painting. Now I have a little quick demo I want to show you that shows you how to draw the cat, but also the bird. And the bird is going to be rather small compared to the cat. Let me get this going. It'll cooperate. There we go. Okay, and that's a portrait of the cat. Hold on a second. Let me back up just a little bit. And here's one I did of him escaping with the bird so it looks like he's flying. Now, I want you to keep this in mind. I'm going to show you how to draw both of these drawings. But if you choose to draw like the cat that's being set free, that's like leaping in the air, you don't have to do buildings. You could have stars in the sky, hills, beautiful trees, but keep it colorful because that was kind of Paul Klee used a lot of color in his work. So we're going to start with the face because that's in both of them. Okay, and you may have a large sheet of paper, but we're going to do this with a smaller sheet to begin with. And you do like almost like a little U or a light little W shape. And then we're going to do a heart at the base of that. That's going to be the nose, actually. And it doesn't have to be perfect. That one's not perfect. A tall triangle. That's like the ridge of the nose. That's going to be part of the top of the head. It curves all the way up to those 2 points. And now I'm going to do the eyes. The eyes are the ovals. And you can do ovals or you can do circles for the center of the eye, the iris. And then the long whiskers. And they don't have to be the same either. And the chin, which is also, you can add the mouth and the neck. So not a whole lot of drawing here. Here is the bird. The bird, I'm going to do like kind of an oval shape for the body. You can do a triangle if you want, or like for the tail feather. I did like almost like an oval or half a circle for the head, and then 2 small triangles for the beak. And then you remember how we did the little turkey legs? I did the same kind of for the bird because he's perched up on his head. And then the wing is just simply like a little curve shape. Okay, now I'm going to show you using 2 sheets of paper that have been joined by tape. But you in the classroom might have large sheets of paper to do this. I'm showing you on the large sheet so you can see more of the detail for the bird that's leaping away. He's free. I'm going to speed through part of this. This is a small version, but you see all the bright colors. And here's what I'm talking about. I took 2 sheets of paper and I taped them together on the back to give me a large sheet because I didn't have any large paper at home. Sometimes you have to improvise. Now this I've already pre-drawn, and it's probably going to be a little out of proportion, but I start with the head again. And you'll notice how large I am making it in proportion with this sheet of paper. So if you got a small sheet of paper, you're still going to not make it teeny tiny because you want to have lots of room to draw the body and everything. You want to be able to see the detail. And remember, the bird is going to be smaller than the cat. But you can see I'm just following the same steps as I did before, adding these details. And I'm going to speed this up because we've already gone through drawing the head. I want to get to the body. And his little chin and a mouth. I'm going to make him happy. Now, his body is kind of long and lean, and I'm going to make the back. And the tail is sticking out there because he's happy and he's leaping in the air. And there's one of his legs that's closer to you. This is the part I kind of got out of proportion because I didn't follow my pencil line, but that's okay. Because remember, his doesn't have to look realistic. These paintings don't. There's another leg and another, and I'm missing a fourth leg, so I've got to add that. So I'm going to add the hind leg that you can't see all of it. Now here's the bird. I did like an kind of an oval shape for the body. Another oval shape with a circle for the eye. I did an oval shape that's kind of at an angle for one wing, and then part of for the back wing, and then the tail fin. And then the triangle. 2 triangles for the beak. So it's pretty easy, but I want you to pay attention. You do not have to do buildings. Think about where you want your bird and your cat to be. If they're both set free, where would they be going off to? Would there be mountains and trees? Would there be stars in the sky? Is there going to be a rainbow behind them? So use your imagination. Where would you want your cat and your bird to go out and play? Okay. All right, so what you're going to do is complete your drawing of a cat bird drawing, and then it's inspired, I put it twice. I guess I was really inspired by the art of Paul Klee using color, line, and shape. Online learners must take a picture and post it Google Classroom or ClassDojo. Whoop, and I jumped back again. Or you can email it to me at eturner@acps.us. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, okay? And there's my number, 563-2238, or again, you can email me. Okay, that's all I have for now. And I cannot wait to see your beautiful artwork. You have a wonderful week, and goodbye for now. Love you.